Asalamoalikum everyone, I hope you all are doing good. Xiaomi sister brand Redmi, which is betterly known for its mid-range budget devices, yet again came up with another Note series this year. And to be very honest, this literally took the mid-range section by storm. So I got a chance to use their upper end device, the Redmi Note 10 Pro, for a good period and have some good thoughts about it. So let's get started. Let's talk about the build quality. The phone in every aspect feels premium. Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro has a mix of high-end and low-end design traits. It's a blend we like a lot. For example, you get a headphone jack like cheap phones, but the Redmi Note 10 Pro's back is slightly curved Corning Gorilla Glass, not the plastic many far more expensive phones use today. The only obvious sign that the Redmi Note 10 Pro is an affordable phone is that its sides are plastic rather than metal. But how tacky the rear camera array looks, the main lens is given its own shiny silver surround and the two-level contouring is there to make the camera seem even more accomplished than it is. The Redmi Note 10 Pro uses a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, not an in-screen one, but it's fast and reliable. There's also an IR blaster on top. The speaker setup on the Redmi Note 10 Pros are excellent for a cheaper phone. They are loud, offer some bass, and there are two drivers. One sits on the bottom, the other above the screen, and Redmi gives this top one two outlets, on top and the front. This maxes out the stereo sound field and makes sure you won't block it when playing a game. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro screen is also exemplary. It's a large 6.67-inch 1080p OLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate. It offers good sharpness, excellent contrast, deep color, enough space to come across as a display made for video and gaming. It also has HDR10 support. In my early days, I do notice screen flickering issue, which Xiaomi after some updates have fixed it. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro also has exactly the sort of chipset we would hope for this class. It's the Snapdragon 732G chipset, a mid-range processor with some optimization for gaming, which boils down to a higher clock graphics section. The model I'm rocking has 8GB of RAM, and for a user like me who is not into gaming, switching between multiple social media apps should go as smooth as it is. And day-to-day tasks on this phone is a no-brainer. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro has a 108MP f1.9 primary camera sensor. It is an eye-catching spec. However, the part of this phone's camera array that stands out the most is something else, the 5MP f2.4 telemacro. It is one of the best phone macro camera we have tested to date, but the 108MP camera is just a play of numbers here. Images are sharp and a bit of contrast to your side. The ultra-wide 8MP camera have 118-degree field of view. The Redmi Note 10 Pro's night mode is also up there with the very best in this category. The very last camera is a very low-end 2MP f2.4 OmniVision sensor used to create depth maps for the background blurring portrait mode. It will do the job for pictures of people, but we find it messing up its mapping of more complicated objects. If the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a filler camera, it is this one. How about video? The Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro can shoot up to 4K resolution 30 frames per second. This footage looks good, but it's completely unstabilized, making it more or less unusable if you will use it while walking around. Stabilization is only available at 1080p 30 frames per second, which is a shame. The Xiaomi Redmi Note 10 Pro has a 5020 mAh battery, which seems a fairly high capacity one for an affordable phone this slim. You will definitely be left with some juice at the end of the day of a normal use. So at conclusion, I must say Redmi was able to produce yet another stellar device which can eventually check all the boxes of a user like me, minus the camera, which for me couldn't hold up to my standards. I'm not saying that it is bad, but it's not excellent, it's just good. So this marks to the end of our video. We will catch you in the next one. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Peace out.